contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness. And let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shouting loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
Happy Friday, TGI Friday. How's everybody doing?
I don't know. Does it have the same representation as it normally did if you were going into the office now? Is TGIF still the same? Or is it just another day? Days seem to blend into each other now.
No, they blend in until the bills come. then you know when the first of the month is. No doubt about it. Right? So, yeah. And if you got employees, then you know when Friday is. Because you get that like text message or don't forget to pay me. I get those. Like don't
Well, my
forget.
check didn't clear.
Yeah. Hey. I
What's
checked
up?
didn't clear.
No, that all makes sense.
You know what?
Definitely.
I gotta say this, and I've never done it, but somebody told me. So I'm gonna do it the next time my phone bill is due. I have Verizon. And somebody told me that they did this 2 times in a row now. And they got charged the entire bill. Because, people are trying is like he'll get a notification that his bill is due. And it'll give him an opportunity to either pay the complete outstanding bill or what's due now, right? And so what he does is he pays what's due now. Well, he's been doing that, over the last, what did he say?
Right.
Maybe 7 months, right? Or whatever, right? So what's due now? And he said to me, the first time this happened to him was a month ago, I don't remember, where he went through the automated process. Because and this happens with banks too now, if you want to speak to a human being, it costs you money. If you go through the automated process, whether it's, you calling your bank or calling your phone company or whatever, they bill you if you want to speak to a real person. They say it's going to, huh?
Where do you see that charge at?
No, they tell you on the phone. It's going to cost you X amount of money to speak to somebody, or you can continue to go through this automated process.
What companies is that? I've never heard that.
Well, I have Bank of America and I have Wells Fargo. Both of them do that.
Really?
Yes. And Verizon does that too. So anyway, let me get back to Verizon. So he told me that there was like an automated process to go through, and then you get to a point where it asks you, how do you want to pay? And then you say you want to pay, I guess, with whatever credit card you have on file. Then it asks you, what do you want to pay? And then, also he said that it would allow him to schedule a payment. So not only pay a portion of your bill or commit to paying a portion of your bill, but schedule when you're going to pay that portion. I don't know how much time out it gives you, but whatever that was, he said it used to be really simple and you just kind of follow along with what the prompts give you. But then he noticed a few months ago that it asked him a question. He was unfamiliar with that particular question. He hit yes, and it charged him immediately the entire bill.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he didn't have the money in the bank, right? So he's like, oh, shoot, right? So now he said he tried to call Verizon, but again, they want to charge you to speak to. So he got caught in this thing. And then he was able to get the money and put it in his account. And so it took care of it, but it was an unexpected amount that he paid, right? So he thought it was just a fluke and maybe something he didn't do right. But then he said the next time he went to pay, he was more aware of what he was doing based on what he did before. And then he noticed that, yes, they did change the prompts and they did everything. And so he said to me that he was going back and forth, like he would get ready to do it and then he'd go back, then he'd get ready to do it. And he said he couldn't find the option for him to pay a part of the bill.
Why not just pay online where you can see it?
Look, but all I'm saying is this. right? So he wound up like faltering again and paying the whole bill, right? This time he had the money in the bank, but still he didn't intend to pay the whole bill. The point that I'm making to you is this, that Verizon must be dealing with the effects of COVID and not getting paid and whatever else. And so now they've changed their thing to get all of their money when they can. Um, and I just think that if that's true, and like I said, I'm going to do that because I usually pay mine online, right? But I'm going to, when my bill is due next, I'm going to do it through, well, it's hard though because I've never done it before, so I don't know what it was supposed to sound like.
If you look on your statement will say what you were billed for. It'll give you a balance.
Mm-hmm.
It'll show you what you were billed for this month,
Right.
and it'll say what is due.
Oh,
So
no,
if
no,
you
no.
have it on your paper statement, it tells you that.
No. That's not what I'm saying. He's not saying that he was overcharged anything. He's simply saying that, let's say you,
No, I know what you're saying, but it says the same thing on your statement. What are you paying? It asks you, what are you paying? And it gives you the different amounts there. And then you choose what your check amount, if you're writing a check to mail it in or paying it through your bank, what you're sending.
yeah, I do mine online. I go to my Verizon. I go to myverizon.com.
I don't send mine. I just send out an automatic check. But but on the statement, it reads that way.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you don't understand it, of course, you will pay. Because basically what they're doing is they pre-bill you as well too. So if you're not careful, and that's why your bill will come back the next month and it'll be a different adjusted amount. And that's why your monthly never looks the same when it should look the same, because every month is the same amount.
So folks just got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful.
Read your statements.
Yeah, read your statements. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Anyway.
They started billing you for calling, because I've called Bank of America before and never heard such a thing and never seen a bill or anything like that. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. And look, everybody's trying to get, I mean, because they put the automated systems in place to save money, right? So now when you force them to have a human being, that human being costs them money. And so I'm sure what they've done is calculated, well, this human being is costing me this amount of money. And, if they're fielding X number of calls, taking up X number of hours in a day, this is what that equates to. And so this is how we're going to distribute this cost across the board with our customers. There's no more customer service. There's no more customer care.
Because people don't demand it. Again, they don't demand it. Instead, when they were introducing all of this automated services, everybody was running over to scan their own products, running to the ATM. They didn't want to go inside. Even I noticed with Bank of America, they would say, you would stand online inside Bank of America, and they say, oh, do you want to use the ATM? And I say, no. If I wanted to use ATM, I'd be standing at the ATM. Because they don't want you to use.
So do you think that? Wait a minute. So do you think there needs to be a revolt? I thought about this. Do you use the self checkout line at the supermarkets?
No.
I think that.
I'm not a cashier anymore, so I paid my dues. And two, if I use the automated system, then that means that cashier over there is possibly going to lose her job.
Well, not only that, but if you notice, right? If you watch, the supermarkets have put the consumer to work, right? Because you're scanning your own stuff and you're bagging it too. Right? So now I wouldn't object to that if there was a savings, right? So if for that you got a discount, but to pay the exact same amount, I think is ludicrous.
Well, yeah.
Did you understand what I'm saying to me? Like if I go through self checkout, and I'm gonna scan. So I'm doing work, and then I'm gonna bag. I'm doing more work, but I'm gonna still pay the same $1.99 for that item as the person who stands over there and has somebody else scan it and bag it for them. There's a I, there's a problem there.
Well, I don't use it. I didn't come here to work. Like,
And the other thing that you'll find is very rarely is there that big of a time difference in the two, because you have all of the glitches with technology in the self checkout line, that there are people who don't know how to use it, right? Their money jams up in the thing. They have to call somebody over to reset it. And so you stand there waiting for that to happen. Meanwhile, you got the person over here, who's scanning and getting people through a lot quicker. So yeah, maybe there needs to be a revolt. Maybe people need to say, you know what? If you want us to work, you want me to come into this Stop and Shop or the ShopRite or whatever the store is, and you want me to work, you have to compensate me. But I shouldn't have to pay the same amount of money for these items when I am scanning and bagging.
Well, if they had a good union, they wouldn't have all these automated systems in there, because the union would be fighting to keep their jobs. Because that's the bottom line. It's the jobs. Because as you saw in, Stop and Shop? Which store? Yeah, Stop and Shop in South Orange. They even have the automated floor cleaner.
Oh, the robot. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And wait a minute. And
oh boy,
the manager of the store works for the robot. See, look, y'all don't see the world the way that I see it.
Thank God.
No. I'm going to tell you why the manager works for the robot.
Tell me.
Well, because I did an experiment in Stop and Shop. I dropped something on the floor in front of the robot. And you know what the robot did? It called the manager to come and get it. Hello. Come on. That robot doesn't pick it up.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Do you understand?
Right.
See, hear what I just said to you. So that manager has a little thing attached to their hip for the robot to call them to let them know when they need to come clean something up.
Oh, man.
Yo! Come on.
That's one way to look at it.
Right? See? And I'll tell you this, I bet you there's some data that's stored within the robot that tells higher ups the time it took from the time the robot called the manager until the situation was resolved.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right. So that manager is being reported on by the dimed out by the
Oh, gosh.
See, I'm telling you, you never thought about that, right? See,
I would let the robot's batteries go dead. He just stuck in aisle 3.
no. See, you know what? I bet you the robot has a backup battery. So when the first battery goes dead, that's when you get fired because you didn't do your job.
He just rolls back to his charger.
That's absolutely right.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Well, it was the automation. People want it faster, quicker, sooner. And they're getting it faster, quicker, and sooner.
Do you remember you used to pull into they used to call them service stations, not gas stations. Remember that? Because you used to go in there, right? And they would clean your windshield, your front and back windows.
They still do it.
No, wait a minute, Diane. They would check.
They don't do it locally.
They would check your fluids, right? They would do all of that.
Know where the oil stick is. I wouldn't trust them.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something else that gets my goat.
Mm,
In in suburbia, and now Vincent, you're on the phone?
mm,
I don't know if he's on. So in suburbia, if you go into a gas station, which they still function like service stations,
mhm,
if you needed air in your tire, they don't charge you.
mhm.
You can roll right up, and in fact, sometimes they'll take the hose and they'll fill it, check
Well,
your
I have to dispute you on this because in the hood, I have gone to many of those tire places and they will give me air for free. So it happens in the hood too.
no. See, they give you air for free, Diane. See, see,
Nobody else.
no, see, they make it depends, right? You may know somebody, or if it's a guy and a woman pulls up, yeah, he may, mm, you know, but that is not the protocol. The protocol is there is a fee for air,
Well, usually at those gas stations, they have those air pumps now that you got to feed a quarter to.
right?
But if you go to the ones that have a garage and you have them check it, if they're not busy, they'll just check it and put air in the tire for you.
Right? But that's a tax that you pay for living in the hood. You want to know another tax you pay for living in the
Okay.
hood?
What is that?
If you run out of gas, go to a gas station, ask them if you can borrow the little gas can. They'll tell you
Mhm.
no. You got to buy one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In suburbia, they'll
Mhm.
they'll ask you to leave like a credit card, or leave something, right, that that kind of tethers you to that station to come back. But
Mhm.
they understand that you are in distress and that you need a whatever. Now, I'll tell you, now this is embarrassing, but I ran out of gas.
Uh,
Um, um, right there on West
wait a
Market,
minute.
huh?
In that hoopty of yours?
In my hoopty, I ran out of gas, but I knew I was gonna run out of gas. But I was trying to get to a client. No, no, that's not true. I didn't know I was gonna run out of gas, and because this is a new car to me, I didn't know. And see, everybody, you know your car, don't you? You
Yeah.
know, you
Yes.
know, and then Diane, and then you see some people. I put a meme up the other day. I think a couple of years ago, and yesterday it reminded me of this, that I put the meme up a few years ago, and it's a character pulling that gas needle, saying "Not today," pulling it away from the E. You see people, they look and they got an angle to see if that thing is at the line, and be like, nah, really, nah, I got a little, I can go, I got it, right? And because I didn't know my hoopty, I thought I had it. Now, for you guys who live in Newark or have visited the soup factory on West Market Street, I was going to see them, and I was going to get my turkey soup. And I pull up that street, and there are two gas stations, Diane. There's the
Right on the
Exxon.
corner.
Right,
Yeah.
Diane. I ran out of gas on the opposite side of the street. So I was holding up traffic, so I had to get a I had to get a distressed person, right, who kind of needed some money to get their, to get right. They get right money, right? So I gave him a few dollars to help me push out of the way so he could. Then I go over to the Exxon gas station,
Mhm.
and I point to my car. I say, hey, that's my car right there. Can I borrow a gas can so that I can get gas to put in my. He said, no, you have to buy one. I had to spend $17 for a gas can. I got two at home.
What good are they doing at home?
But Vincent, where you live, if you ran out of gas and you went to a service station, would they make you buy a gas can, Vincent?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
But she lives in the hood.
No, I live in the suburbs.
No, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you where.
But one, it depends on where you go. Like one service station, it's kind of like an old, independent. Wasn't like one of the big chains. And he just said, "Look, here's a gas can. Put $1 in it, and then bring your car back." But
Yeah.
one, when I was ran out of gas in the hood, the guy was like, "Well, we sell the gas cans. You can fill it up and come back." But and then I was lucky because some guy was like, "Look, yo, use my gas can, and just bring it back." He had one in his car.
But but I'm telling you, look, there are different rules in the suburbs and in the hood, and people who need those courtesies the most don't get them. Those people who could afford to spend $17 on a gas can when they got to at home, right?
They don't bother you.
They don't bother them.
Mm-mm. Well, let me give another lens to that. Sometimes in the hood, when these gas stations lend a gas can to somebody, their gas cans don't come back.
No. What I'm saying to you is this: where I've lived in suburbia.
So you run out of gas a lot of times.
No. But I.
If it's 2 gas cans at home.
But I have run out of.
You're making assumptions.
But I have run. No, but I have run. No, I am an irresponsible car driver when it comes to gas, right? So I don't pay attention to how much gas I have in the car. I need one of those cars. So when I've had cars that will alert you, right, like a chime will go off, then it'll remind me, right? And then I'm still not 100% guaranteed to go in and fill it up, right? I always push the envelope. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it right after this. I'm gonna go take care of this thing. I'm gonna do it right after this. I'm gonna do it. And I'll give you an example. Today, because Amina's car has better tires than mine, and I had to go to the bakery this morning, and because it was 25 degrees when I left the house, and you can't tell what's black ice and what's not, right? I said, let me take her car. I don't know how much gas was in her car. I didn't look. I just got in and left. I went to the bakery and then I came back and never looked at the gas tank at all. So it may have been on E. I don't know. I'm that guy. Sorry. And it's bad. It's not good for the engine, I know, right? You shouldn't have your car go below a quarter tank because then the sludge from the whatever gets in the engine and yada, 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 yada. That's one of my faults. So, But anyway, so yeah.
You do know that today's cars don't have that issue anymore. Like you don't need to buy high-test gas or detergent gasoline because today's cars have better oxidization with the carburetor systems, and they're more automated to adjust, so you're getting high performance and less sludge in your cars.
Well, the other thing that you don't need to do, and I told somebody this, you don't need to warm your car up anymore. Remember how you used to have to warm the car up? You don't have to do that.
Yeah, you had to get up 15 minutes early.
Yeah,
warm your car
you
up,
don't.
get dressed,
The only. I mean, people warm their car up to get them to get the interior warm, right? So like the auto starters is so that the heat, like on a 25-degree day, like you want the inside of the car to be warm, but you don't have to warm the engine up before you drive.
You don't need to do that anymore because most cars now have heated seats.
I don't like heated seats.
Why not?
I know you're like, oh God, because I forget to turn it off, and then all of a sudden my ass is on fire. And it really isn't, it's not burning, it's itching, right? Like the heat makes it itch at first. And they're like, why is my ass, like my ass cheeks itching? And then like, oh, the heated seats.
That's my butt is itching if the heated seats are on her. Like, really?
What?
That's really.
Eric, at some point, don't you just turn the seat
No,
off?
then I turn it off. But at that point, I've already experienced that bad sensation.
Oh God. Okay, that is the first time I've heard that.
So anyway, I posted today on my page that I want black people to look at it like this. Do you remember the fights before they had rounds? Diane, you're too young. But Vincent will know. Before they started 15 round fights just went until the other person couldn't fight anymore. Like, so you had fights that would go like 27 rounds, 28 rounds, and they just keep going. Next round, next round, next round. Well, black Americans are in a fight. Well, there's a fight going on, right? I should say, because I don't know that we're in the fight. We're in the ring for sure, and that ring is called America. And
Well, who's in the next corner, the opponent?
the corporation white supremacy. So it's the corporation white supremacy versus black Americans. Ding, ding. And for 400 rounds, we've been getting the shit kicked out of us.
So the scorecard is
400 rounds.
400.
Hey,
Black America 0.
They-
Round 401.
Round 400. Listen, it's a lopsided fight right now, man. Look,
Like that Little Rascals episode where Spidey was fighting Butch. Buckley was fighting Butch. No, who was Alfalfa was fighting Butch, and Butch was holding his head. He was swinging.
yeah, So look, but that is the scenario. That's what's going on, and then we can count every year. Right? It's like the judges on the ringside judges, right? Count the scorecards, right? We're in, this is round 401. Right? Who's winning? Who's jabbing? Who's throwing gut punches? Who's running around the ring? Listen, it doesn't look good. But that is.
But
Go ahead.
this fight doesn't have Kings to Queensberry rules, nor does it have a 10-point must on the scoring.
Well, if it had a 10, listen, it'd be 8, 10, 7. It'd be like 8, 10 rounds every round, man. But, yeah.
The issue with the corporation of white supremacy is the majority of it is kitchen sinking. There are still people fighting round 362. There are some people who are still fighting around 212, and they're not realizing that this is 401. So they're still fighting on the same techniques in which the corporation of white supremacy has gotten better, smarter, and punching faster.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
we're still playing catch up.
Oh, we still got those old boxing shoes on.
Yeah, the old leather ones.
Come on.
With the 18-ounce gloves.
Listen. Right now, the corporation white supremacy, they're training like Drago. You know what I mean? It's the state-of-the-art stuff, man. We doing like Rocky, man, climbing up snow mountains and stuff, right? Pushing tires.
Wood.
Yeah, chopping on wood, man. Come on.
Well, the other.
But did you see the article I sent you that your Polynesian sauce is causing people at Chick-fil-A to explode?
All right, so tell them why it's my Polynesian sauce, Diane.
I don't know why. I don't. You have to tell them.
Well,
That's your.
I put that Polynesian sauce on everything. I put it on my eggs. I put it on my salmon burgers. I put it on my cracked chicken from Ambassadors. I do. I dip my French fries in it. I put it on everything. And so my best of best friends know me. And so whenever they go to Chick-fil-A, they ask for extra Polynesian sauce. Not
Do you
for
have
them.
other people caping for you to get this stuff?
They go and get it. And then they tell me, hey, Eric, I went to Chick-fil-A. I got
Because I got a drawer full of it because of you.
Well, if
My wife has a condiment drawer too.
well,
think it's an unhealthy
so I'm
habit.
gonna tell you. Firstly, black people don't have a condiment drawer. You just have a drawer, and in there, along with other things, are condiments. But it's not a condiment drawer. Now, is your drawer exclusive to condiments, Vincent? See, ours has
Yes,
condiments.
yes,
It
it
has
is.
menus. It
There's
has like the old
chopsticks.
chopsticks, the forks, and the sporks. The has all of that in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had to separate those. So we've got the sporks and menus, and we got the condiments on the other side.
Nah, we got everything in one drawer. What about you, Diane?
It's a drawer. It's a drawer that has condiments in it.
Just condiments?
It's in the refrigerator. Yeah.
Oh,
Supposed to keep
oh, in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Ooh, she keeps hers refrigerated.
Oh, you keep yours. Ooh.
I know.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
leave them in a drawer that dried out.
Ooh.
Duh.
No, I eat them before. Come on. So, wait a minute, Diane, let me ask you a question.
All stay in the refrigerator.
All right.
What?
All right. By show of hands, who puts their ketchup in the refrigerator?
After you open it, you're supposed to keep it in the refrigerator.
You are supposed to keep it refrigerated.
I do not keep my ketchup refrigerated.
That's
Yes,
why
the-
your stomach be hurting because
I've
you all
never
warm
had my
inside.
ketchup refrigerated. I cannot, it is sacrilegious to put cold ketchup on hot French fries.
What? We didn't say that. We
In
said
fact,
store
wait a
it in the
minute.
refrigerator after you open it. You can always let it get to room temperature and then pour.
There is a sign that says keep refrigerated after opening.
You know what? I'm going to go get I just bought some new Heinz ketchup. I'm going to go, well, we don't take breaks here because I was going to go
Heinz
and look.
ketchup, Heinz. Which ketchup do you use?
Oh,
Heinz
I
ketchup?
don't use Hunt's.
Let me see what
Wait
I
a minute,
use.
Hunt's tastes too
I
much like
I
tomatoes.
use Heinz too. Yeah, Heinz tastes like tomatoes. It doesn't.
It ain't got enough
It tastes
sugar
just
in it.
like their tomato sauce. So I think all they did was just drain it some more.
I don't want my ketchup to taste like tomatoes. I want my ketchup to taste like sugar.
Red sugar. Yeah.
Red sugar.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
I told you the Chick-fil-A on Route 22 has a lawsuit.
Wait a minute. So yeah, go back to the exploding Polynesian sauce. What happened?
Polynesian sauce. Yeah.
Like
So,
it just
apparent. Mm-hmm.
just combusted. Just
Yeah. So a customer claims that their Polynesian sauce, the little, 2-inch things, containers or whatever, that it exploded and caused damage.
to what?
So now they're upset.
What did it cause damage to?
I don't know, to their ego. They were upset that it.
Oh, it may
they
have
weren't
stained their
able to-
clothes. I can
How
understand
does
that.
1 ounce of Polynesian sauce exploding cause damage?
Well, that's what they said, and they're filing a lawsuit. They said they opened it up, they kept it in a Ziploc bag, and then when they opened it, because people store their stuff in Ziploc bags too, like in your office, You may put all the condiments in a Ziploc bag instead of dropping them in the drawer. And you
Yep.
put them in the bag, and then when they opened up a month or two later, it exploded. Poof, all over the place. They said luckily no one was injured, but they're very upset.
Now, how would somebody be injured? Like, what would injure you?
Well, because if it exposed, those little foil things could get in your eye. They could take your eye out.
But nobody was injured.
All right, Ralphie. All right.
Just saying, that's what could happen. There's a possibility.
Yeah, I think I think that people just are looking to sue.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And not even that. There are attorneys that are willing to take the case. I think that's worse.
Yeah.
So Congress is debating on whether they're going to send you a $600 stimulus check while they are making an average of $175,000 a year with free health benefits and a pension plan.
And access to unlimited checks.
So they have decided that the second stimulus check, which may get done before the end of the year, it may not, which I'm going to probably say it's not.
Well, wait a minute. Why do wait? So I hope black people, in particular, the anti-vaxxers and the ones who don't want to wear masks, I hope that they're not looking for stimulus checks.
Oh,
Well, why wouldn't they be? That has nothing to do with a vaccination.
Sure, it does. The prolonged pandemic is a direct result, right, of people not complying.
I
And
can say the prolonged effect of people not complying is because they don't have jobs or because business owners didn't have good business plans.
no.
There are a whole lot of things.
No.
Yeah.
If people had,
well, a pandemic is generally not in your contingencies.
all right, wait a minute. Okay, so I went and got this bottle of ketchup because I want to go back to my ketchup.
Oh.
Okay, my
ketchup on
as
the
you
bottom,
see, I
it
got. Wait a minute.
says-
See, you see my Heinz ketchup. I got the little one. I got the 14-ounce one. Because I don't want a big one. I use it and I get another one.
For best results, refrigerate after opening. Shake well before. And it also gives you a best use date on the cap.
Right,
as
but it says,
well.
but it doesn't say must refrigerate. See, it says,
It says for best results. The best results. Refrigerate after opening.
right, but it does, right, but see, so
So
now,
you got poor results. So you got poor
no,
ketchup.
see,
I
so
just
now
said,
we're being,
when I come
so
to your
now,
house,
wait a
don't
minute,
use the ketchup,
No.
don't fry with you.
no, so wait a minute,
What happens is that the oxygen increases the acidity level because I think part of the sugar dissipates or something like that. So freezing actually
all right, you know what,
stills the acid.
no, you know what, no, I see, now you guys are being subjective, right?
I'm not being subjective. I just read the note.
It said best results. By whose standards? Wait a minute, by whose standards?
By the standards of the manufacturer.
Eric,
The same way when we sell cobbler, we say use by, eat by this date. Because after that, it ain't going to taste the same.
or refrigerate. Don't just leave it on the shelf.
You know what? So here's another thing. As I'm looking it up, right? I got a problem with the way ketchup is spelled too. Right?
Is what?
Spelled.
Spelled with a C or with a K?
Why is that, Eric?
Ketchup. Right? So wait a minute. Should I refrigerate ketchup after opening?
Oh, God.
Because of its natural acidity, Heinz ketchup is shelf stable. Bam! 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 Now, wait. Now,
Results, meaning
no, wait a minute.
best taste.
Wait a minute. I didn't know, but my tongue did. See, I'm going to read it to you again. Because of the natural acidity, Heinz, that's why I use Heinz, ketchup is shelf stable.
Yes. But then once you open it,
Oh, I didn't
What's the
finish.
definition of shelf
Wait a
stable?
minute. Wait. Let me finish. It says, however.
Bam.
Bam.
Boom.
It says the
Checkmate.
stability after opening can be affected by storage conditions. By conditions. It says we recommend that this product, like any other processed food, be refrigerated after opening.
You know, you could have just believed Diane when she read it to you. I mean, you could have just saved yourself 10 minutes of your life.
Is it okay?
Whatever. So, moving on to more important information. New Jersey is considering now to pass a law to release
It's
prisoners out of
totally
jail
fine to keep
who
ketchup at
have,
room
oh
temperature,
God,
but
the
keeping
effing
it in the
ketchup food.
refrigerator will preserve its shelf life. So you can keep it out. It's not going to kill
He's
you.
kind of in his pit bull mode. Once he got his teeth latched on, he ain't letting go.
Like, I just want to know, like, how do you have ice cold ketchup, like 41 degrees ketchup, on like hot fries that just came out of the grease, and you put the salt on it? Now, and so do you know that, right? That when you salt fries, you have to do it right after they come out of the grease.
Yes.
Otherwise, the salt bounces off.
Yes.
Right? Some people don't know.
Yeah, because the grease absorbs the actual salt.
Right. And so now you got these hot fries that are perfectly salted, and then you put 41-degree ketchup. All right, I'm done. Go ahead. Move on.
Eric,
I can't.
Eric,
I can't.
there is the actual concept of once you put cold ketchup on hot fries, the ketchup is no longer cold.
No, what happens is they cool the fries down.
Oh, so now you're. Oh, that's a good reason that you don't sue the fry maker because of the fries being too hot, like the woman who sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot.
Oh, did you see? No. Did you see the burn she got?
No.
Oh, it took like literally, it took her skin off, almost down to the bone. I mean, literally, her burn was wicked.
Yeah, well, I think most people would say she deserves that because nobody drives with a hot cup of coffee between your legs.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Everybody deserves that when they purchase coffee from anywhere.
Yeah, so you just because you drive with it between your legs doesn't mean that they have a right to have it exceed, a safe temperature.
Okay, but because you're being a jackass, that means that you get $1 million from somebody. Who
No,
gave you the
so
coffee?
no,
I don't think she was being a jackass.
she was irresponsible for doing that, right?
Get
But
off of her.
so let's say this. If the coffee was at the temperature it should have been at, and she had it between her legs, right? The most that would have happened to her was she would have had a stained outfit, right? And may have suffered minor burns, which, she could have put some Neosporin or something on, right? Yep, still had it between her legs, still did that, but she wouldn't have had her skin removed down, almost down to the bone. That wouldn't, where she needed like multiple grafts. See, but because McDonald's, they did however they were processing the coffee, it reached this untenable condition, heat condition, that when she did the exact same thing so I would say if you had taken a cup of Burger King coffee and put it between your legs at that time, maybe you would not have suffered the same fate.
Here is my question or point of argue. If you misappropriately use something, should the people, the manufacturers, or the restaurant or service industry be liable for your misappropriation?
She didn't misappropriate. Use anything. There's no directions as to where you should be holding your coffee.
So they should put warning signs that say that you should not drive with coffee between your legs?
What they did was pay for a lawsuit because they overheated their coffee, and they knew it. That's why she won.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, listen. You can do so the manufacturer has a responsibility above and beyond what you do, right? And if that manufacturer, so for instance, I could take a chainsaw and use the chainsaw completely wrong. But the reason why we go to court is because my lawyer would look to see that in me doing what I did, is there anything that that manufacturer of that chainsaw may have overlooked in terms of their manufacturing of the chainsaw,
Okay. Well,
right?
Eric,
That if that chainsaw was manufactured in a different way, even with me handling it inappropriately, would not have resulted in the extreme condition that I might have been left in, having
so,
used it.
okay, I saw an interview of the most sued manufacturer in America,
Mm-hmm.
which happens to be a ladder manufacturer. And because of their lawsuits, they had somewhere close to 15 different disclaimers, warnings, and block of instructions on the ladder. But he said in his interview, the most stupidest thing that ever happened was they gotten sued and now have to put a disclaimer that states that placing a ladder will in standing a ladder up in dog poop causes a viscosity level that makes the ladder unstable. Does it take a rocket science to know that you don't put your ladder at the bottom of a pile of poop and think that it's going to be safe?
Well, the poop could have looked like dirt, a mound of dirt. So
Yeah. I've experienced a lot of poop that looks like dirt in my life. How many others?
Well, apparently they won their lawsuit because they had to do it. So apparently this ladder company had a lot of things that were going on if they had so many lawsuits.
Well, but you know what? So here's an interesting thing, right? Not to belabor it, but if you look at the bottom of ladders, right, at the little flap at the bottom of the leg, right,
Have little
th-
teeth on the foot.
right on the foot, it has grippers on it, right, which would imply to people that it grips. So you may very well have a person who says, well, maybe it grips on everything. They didn't say it doesn't. So because they didn't say it doesn't, maybe it does. Right? See?
Or most see the whole thing is getting into, and when you look at lawsuits and accidents and idiot attacks, is the simple fact of this: you have to define what is reasonable intelligence.
Well, maybe the idiot is the manufacturer and not the consumer.
Could be, or maybe a combination of both. But that's what's always determined through a court of law. To some people, driving down the street with a hot cup of coffee it has a level of being an idiot. To some people, putting your ladder in a pile of poop makes you a bit of an idiot. And then to other people, no, it doesn't.
Well, good thing you're not their attorney because they all won.
Yeah, good thing of that. But now, how do we get to the point in our society that we sue a company because the condiment exploded?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is there are, well, look, if the condiment is not supposed to explode and it does something it's not supposed to do, right? Um, then then so but he to me it's not a matter of suing. It is a matter of what people get when they sue, right? So if the condiment exploded and I had a Versace suit on, right, and I want to be made whole, that maybe Chick-fil-A pays for my suit, right? If we can't, so first we take it to the cleaner, see if we can get it, clean. If we can't, then they got to make me whole, right? Because that's to me that's what it's about, right? So this thing happened, I should be made whole. But when you have like these outrageous suits, so the person will sue for trauma, right? They'll immediately go to psychiatrists, right? And they'll talk about how They have post-traumatic stress disorder, and going through a drive-through now irritates them, and they suffer great anxiety over it, and they could never open a thing of ketchup anymore. They have to get their spouse to open a ketchup or whatever because the fear that it may explode, and then they do all that stuff, and they actually go to doctors, and they get doctors to confirm this, and then the the amount comes out that they're suing for $3 million. Now I think that that's a problem. That's a problem.
So
You
to
know.
go back into the article and other articles that have been posted about Polynesian sauce, people have had them in various places, on their deck, on their desk, in their pocket, and they have just exploded. So there is a manufacturing defect in the container.
Oh, I'm not just look. I had some in Amina's glove compartment in her car. She's got mad at me because yeah, she opened it up and I never thought that like, oh my God, it exploded. I need to call my attorney. She said, hey Baba, all these documents in this thing got all this Polynesian sauce on it. So I went and got a rag and went and got some stuff, wiped down what I could. The other stuff, if it wasn't important, we threw it out. We kept it moving.
Right.
Now that I know,
Polynesian sauce in a container that you give to your kid that's a toddler that's sitting in their car seat and it explodes. So maybe the lawsuit is not so much about damage to himself, but damage to all the other people that it could possibly cause because they haven't done anything about this particular container that they're using. So it's not always about self-infliction. It could be about keeping something from happening in the future that could be much more devastating because it is aluminum foil that's over the top, that's holding it together with plastic.
okay.
I get that, but how can you sue for potential damages or damages that haven't happened yet?
Well, they have a case study of tons of people who have posted that they have exploded. So all they need to do is dig a little further to see, I don't know, did they get nicked? Did it break, cut their skin? Anything.
Oh no, that's damage that has happened.
And they can sue because the manufacturing product is not safe. It
That's
should
true
not
too.
be exploding. That's it.
That's true too.
That's how they can sue. It's exploding, and it should not be.
Yes, but that's suing for damage that has happened. But
So what's your point? All of these people are saying the damage has happened.
right. And what I'm saying is that I can understand suing for damage that has happened, but suing for damage that could potentially happen is a total different. I don't know.
Well, they never said anything about potential. They're talking about case study as to what has happened.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now that you've taken 58 minutes out of my life with that.
What's going on?
More like 57 seconds out of your life.
What?
But it may feel like minutes.
So what else is happening in the world?
Let's see. The Russians have confirmed the Russians have been doing cyber attacks on America. And
we knew this. Trump is doing whatever's necessary because he owes people money. Why are we surprised? I'm not surprised.
not surprised, just alarmed.
Not alarmed.
Yes.
The government agencies are the first agencies that always get hacked. They've been hacked all over New Jersey. They pay the ransoms. They haven't fixed it. Not alarmed. It's not anything new.
But here is the big concern, or some of the big concerns that they have. Why has Trump not said anything, posted anything, or even launched his own cyber attack against the Russians?
You don't think it's important? Call or go.
It was so perfect too. My timing was perfect this morning because I knew Mr. was going to say something about Trump. But forget that hacking stuff. Did you hear that Trump tried to give us $2,000 of stimulus and they called him a troublemaker? He yesterday morning told his aide to go and tell them that $600 was not enough. That the stimulus should be between $1,200 and $2,000. people were suffering. And they said he was a troublemaker in trying to collapse the negotiations. That they had settled on $600, and that was quite enough. I thought that was quite interesting.
Good for him.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. He was just trying to help out. And for the first time, now we're calling him a troublemaker for trying to do the right thing. But we're worried because he hasn't said anything about his dude and the hacking that, like Diane said, has gone on forever, been happening all the time. Everyone knew, and everyone knows it's going to continue to happen. But Trump's a troublemaker. Go ahead, Vincent, and defend your people, whatever.
Well, I'm not defending my people, but I mean, because I think that the situation with Trump and the stimulus thing came, or the convenience of the timing of that came just as he's been having the war of words with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Who cares?
Well, it's part of it's. But that's
right for us. Nobody care. I don't care about it.
Well, no, and that's the whole thing. A lot of people are not caring, and there are a lot of things that he's doing or allowed to happen that is getting bad, like our situation with Iran and allowing Israel to make some moves and take over some land, and supplying Israel with weapons, increasing. Well,
Israel not our concern. Israel is not our concern, and that's the problem right there.
Well, Israel and Iran is not.
And you haven't even taken care of your own business.
Israel and Iran may not be our concern according in your ideology. However, we tend to actually deal with a lot of the backlash when they're coming after Israel. They come after us because we supply Israel. That's the thing. When they do that, that increases our level of terrorist attacks. So they may not decide to launch an airplane into a building, but maybe they'll decide to come up in your neighborhood and poison the water. Oh, I'm sorry, that's already been done.
That was a stretch.
Yeah, it's a stretch, but that's what they do. It's not a concern as to the reason why they have the problem over there. And Israel and Iran will always be fighting, and that has really little to do with us than you would think.
True, it should, and we should have never gotten into it, because even the Bible says that the only time that those two have stopped fighting is when they buried Abraham. But the point,
everybody doesn't follow the Bible, and I'm going to say again, it has little to do with the United States when we have our own issues. When now the media has now, as Jody has said, has turned on Trump and said he shouldn't give more money out. He's a troublemaker.
Well, let me ask you the question. So let's stop there, Vincent. Do you think that Trump was right in pushing for more money in the stimulus deal? Hello.
I'm sorry, I muted myself because I don't want to. Yeah. But I don't think that. I think that the timing. See, if Trump really, or the sincerity of it. Trump had an opportunity to push for the $2,000 with the first stimulus movement, yet he pushed for the trillions to go to corporations, his friends. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden he wants to be the friend of the little guy. No, I think that is disingenuous.
No, but let me wait. So wait a minute.
In the first stimulus, he did push for the money for the corporations, right? He also pushed for the money for the stimulus. All he said was, and I want my name on that check. And they said no. Trump has never denied the stimulus, Vincent. Never. He just always demanded that his name be on the check. And because that was prior to the election, no, we can't send out Trump's name on a check before Joe Biden gets to win this election, right? Now he's saying, y'all got y'all stuff going on. He allowed them. Listen, he hasn't said anything to Moscow Mitch about Moscow Mitch wanting the whole little liability taken out. All he said yesterday was, and he didn't even get involved, he just told some aides, listen, that $600 number should be between $1,200 and $2,000. He didn't say nothing to Moscow Mitch. They didn't have a conversation. They didn't have a beef. The aides in the White House delivered that message And they all went crazy saying, no, he's going to cause trouble. How do you cause trouble by trying to give the people money?
Well, he caused trouble because of two things. One, Trump has a strong support that a lot of the Republicans are trying to tap into. The second thing is the simple fact that now they're having a little, like I said,
But
flexing
but
some
wait a
muscle,
minute.
a lame duck
No,
president
no.
versus.
But the
Go ahead.
question I'm trying to get answered is this: do you believe that people should get between $1,200 and $2,000, or is $600 sufficient?
Oh, I believe that people should they should be giving, and I said this during the start of this back in March. They should be getting the maximum. They should be getting way above that. They should even they should be starting at $5,000.
Okay,
But
so if you believe that they should be starting at $5,000, then certainly the $600 is an insult,
it
right?
is. The
Okay, so
$1,200 was an insult.
I'm sorry.
I said that the $1,200
No,
was
no,
an
no.
insult.
Wait, wait,
I said
wait.
that was worse
No,
than
no, no,
what
no,
Reagan gave
no,
everybody
no,
government cheese
no, no.
when
Okay,
unemployment was at an
okay. Wait a
all-time
minute.
high.
Fine. So if you're gonna say the 1,200 or the 2,000 that Trump is suggesting is an insult, then are you railing against those who said 600?
Yes, I am.
Maximum sophisticated confusion.
See,
No, don't be confused because well, okay. Well, let me clear up the confusion. I'm railing against giving anybody who is struggling hard and facing foreclosure, anybody whose unemployment has been cut or reduced, anybody who right now is trying to figure out what am I going to do if this bill doesn't pass and then December 26th they give me an eviction and I don't have a job. No, I'm saying that, people need help. And they're squabbling over, giving them a penny or a half a penny. And to most people, their debt level, that $600 isn't even a drop
no,
in
no,
the
no.
bucket.
No,
It's a slap in the face.
I get that. But I'm saying, so out of all of the people who are talking about what all of those desperate people that you just mentioned should be getting, you got the orange guy, number 45, proposing the most amount of money, right? I mean, just simple math, right? Simple number. More money, he's saying, than what those people are saying. So why would he be called a troublemaker?
Mm. Well, let's look at the trouble that it has caused.
Oh no, I know the truth. No, no, no.
And
I'm clear. No, I'm
no,
clear.
no.
Listen,
Let's,
but
no,
Vincent.
no, okay. I'm saying that he should be called. They're calling him a troublemaker, and quote unquote, those are not my words.
Right. I'm
Now,
clear about the
what I'm
trouble
saying,
he
what I'm saying
caused.
is, okay, let me be clear. If Trump wants to do something to help some people out by, saying that okay, they should be getting at least $2,000, then all I gotta say is thank you for the epiphany. We have seen the light. But if he's using it for alternative motives, then, I'm saying once again, exploiting poor people for his own gain, which is the modus operandi of Donald Trump.
So my thing is this, right? If so the friend of wait, how does the saying go? The
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right. And so if 45 is your enemy, right? But in this instance, can be your friend because you get $2,000 instead of $600. You're suggesting that all those people who are on those long food lines and everything say, yeah, you know what? Nah, you keep it.
No, those are not my suggestions.
Okay.
Nor would I ever suggest that.
Okay.
I'm saying, okay, he's going to give you that, fine, great. But also you want to, in terms of Donald Trump, I'm not big on looking a gift, some people are saying, okay, well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. No, I'm looking at his motivating factors behind it.
No, no.
Okay.
So he may
I'm
have.
just saying. I'm just saying. Be cautious.
So wait a minute.
That's it.
So are we
One of the
suggesting
factors that he could
that?
possibly have is to leave his mark, right? It's to say that if that's what he gave to the nation, right? That I'm not that
Right.
bad of a guy. That while they're over there, I'm not that bad of a guy. And if that's the motive, so
Which politician doesn't have that
Or
motive?
his motive saying, okay, Trump 2024.
Yes, but which politician doesn't have those motives?
Oh, Eric, I'm agreeing with you with that track.
Yeah, yeah, right. So Donald Trump, in terms of a politician, is doing nothing outside of the norm, right? Where he's saying, "Hey, listen, if I do this, I might be able to attract some additional people to vote for me or support me." Right? And so people are saying for him doing that's wrong. Right? But we
No,
watch
that's
the
not
chicken
what I'm saying.
dinners that are
What I'm
handed
saying-
out,
what I'm-
right?
what
We
I'm-
watch all these other things that go on, right? All the other pandering that happens, and that's not being troublemaker, right? Fish fry Clyburn has his fish fry and panders to people. It's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, give the people the money. Give them the money, But like I said to you, I mean,
I agree with giving people money. But what I don't agree with is exploit the people for your own gain and use. That's what I'm saying.
but all politicians exploit. But go back to where we started, right? The commodity to the wealth and power. They all do it. They all do it. We got a problem with that guy doing it. But they all do it. They all exploit. No? Right? They do,
Yeah,
right?
I think we've gone over this long and hard. Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's going to make a difference. So whatever. Either they're going to do it, they're not going to do it. They're going to do what they want to do despite him, or because they don't want to do what he says because they're now being support of him. It really doesn't matter because it's the American people who give them their paychecks every month and health benefits that are losing out. They don't lose out because their checks have not stopped.
Yes, and I think it's all political theater more than it's actual the ability to wanting to help somebody suffering.
Okay. Um. I'm trying to think of whether I want to talk about this or not.
Which one?
Local for a minute. I see some people like talk about pandering politicians. It's breaking my heart. In these local races that are coming up in Essex County, Newark, Irvington, East Orange, I see some old faces resurfacing,
Why shouldn't they? You allow them.
preparing to run for political office. I'm going to say this. I will not be kind to you when the election starts because I don't believe you, right? I don't believe that you care about the community. I don't believe you care about people. I think that what you've seen is what we talk about, which is that you have an apathetic group of people out there and you want to take advantage of them.
Okay, so who are you talking about and which particular race? Because you're talking in circles and I need names. We need names. Say it.
Well,
say it, whoever it is, because it's public information. If the people are running and you don't believe that they are that they would be effective, then say it.
Well,
say
super spreader do it all would be one, right?
Okay, so why do you think that he's not qualified or he's not? No. He should not run for office, or he's not. What would you say? Putting the best intentions for the people there to be in that position. Why?
Wait, before he does this, right? Can I just give you a disclaimer, Eric?
Yeah.
Whenever you feel uncomfortable, like I'm not ready to start fighting these people, just say, "What do you think, Jody?"
No.
I'll do it for you.
No. So
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
right.
In
So
the sports, that's called the tag team.
no. So I'm gonna tell you, right? So I continue to play Ayanna Presley saying no more black faces without black voices, right? Um, do it all. Ain't got nothing for black people. Nothing. Nothing. He 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 doesn't have the political courage to speak out against Ras Baraka when he knows that Ras Baraka is in the wrong. Now, see,
So how do you know he knows that? If he's supporting Raz, then that means he supports what he says and he does. So that does not mean that he would speak out against them. That's
Go ahead, Eric. Please call. Please tag me. Please tag me.
I go ahead, Jody. I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm gonna drink my coffee. Go ahead, Jody.
So Do It All ran for, independently last time, right? They treated him unkindly. He talked behind closed doors, but he didn't show the wherewithal to stand up against the administration then. He was running against people that he wouldn't talk against, really, right? And I'm running against you, but I won't say what I say behind closed doors. This is...
Okay, so wait, stop right here. Wait, no, I know. But I just want to break it down. So, what do you see should a candidate be doing? Do you want to hear a candidate put out bad literature and talk about other people, or do you want them to focus on themselves and talk about what they can bring to the table that is different than what the people are receiving already? What do you think?
So I'm with Eric with that one, right? No black faces.
Yeah. So yo, tell me why black people are being screwed over, and then tell me who's screwing them over and why they need to be replaced. Tell me that. Right? So you can't tell me what you're gonna do without telling me what's being done and why you're different. And so now once you start talking about the differences, if you're honest about them, then you gotta talk about the ineptitude of the administration that's there. But to not have that conversation, right, says that you're hedging your bet. Right, you want to stay in good graces. You're hoping to be called, on the field. Strap up, do it all. Put your helmet on. We're calling you in the game. You're gonna be on Team Baraka. See, that's what.
So there you go. So you're talking about a gentleman that has financial access to win a campaign on his own.
No, he doesn't.
You don't think so?
No, he doesn't. You know how much money it's gonna cost?
This is what I'm asking you. Yeah. You don't think he has enough access to enough people to financially run his own campaign without
Diane. So let's start here, right? So I don't know what people you think. So does he know some people? No, well, but you
by association.
well, but you threw it out there, right? So if you're talking about some celebrities that he knows, right? Then first you have a max that you can contribute, right? Right? So each of them, once they all max out, count the number that you think he has, right? So 20. So 20 times that max, what does that put you at? Right? And now if you
500?
right, I'm sorry. No, it's 20. What is it? $2,700.
$2,700. Okay.
Right? I think.
No, I just want to go ahead. Go.
No, right, but you're asking me the question, so I'm telling you why.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I'm trying to calculate it while you're talking.
Right. So say 20 people. Got 20 people at $2,700 each. What's that?
I'm about to tell you. 2,700 times 20 is
$54,000.
$54,000.
He can't win a race with $54,000.
Independent.
No. My brother ran. My brother ran for Central Ward, and he needed over $130,000.
Okay.
Right. So and then beyond that.
But see what I'm saying, Eric, is and I understand when you say, okay, he knows 20 celebrities. for 20 celebrities got family members, and then everybody, and they do it the same
Okay,
way.
so now
this is
you're
what I'm saying.
but now you're breaking the cardinal rule of understanding how politics are run, right? So
Well, this is why I want to put it out there for people to understand, because I want to understand why a person who's supposed to be a celebrity and have access to money has to team up with somebody that is.
Okay, but listen, but I'm telling you, all you need to do is look at the last election, right? Just go look at the last election results. He knew the same people then, right? Knew the exact same people then. So if what you're saying is that his celebrity, right? Him going to Germany and posting the videos and doing all of the blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. I see. Come on, stop. See, Diane, you getting ready. You getting ready. See, Diane. See, Jody, Diane trying to get.
You good at that, Diane.
She trying to put. She trying.
I need to understand, and while I say I need to understand, people need to understand.
They understand.
No, they
Yeah, they do.
understand as to why he would jump on board, because they need to see it. It has to be laid out for why this particular person who has a so-called status, access, would do this to run with him. And then that's how you eliminate it. And this is how we eliminate him as a candidate. So you have now just broken down, he's eliminated, move on. Yeah.
He's only doing it because he's a coward, right? He said nothing about the water. He just gave out water. I actually went on this thread one day. It was like, how can you be so complicit by your silence, right? He tried to give me some big thing about, hey, I've been out there doing my thing. Why aren't you talking about how offended you are that the administration is poisoning children, right? It would, like most people, he blocked me. Cool. I picked up. But I just wanted to know, why wouldn't he say anything, right? You ran against them. So, and then listen, they just did a rap video together. They did a rap video with the mayor. With the mayor sitting with, listen, he did a rap video with the mayor with his mask on, and then 2 weeks later, he was maskless around hundreds of people.
Spitting. Spitting.
For nothing in Newark.
So, Do It All Kelly is out. So, who's the next person that's running, Eric? They got to be broken down. They out there, they're in the public light. They want to run into these positions. You got to call them out for who they are. Who else is next?
So I need to.
There was somebody in the South Ward.
So
gonna let you get away with
yeah. So, and look, and I've known him most of his life. Like I think from the time he was 7 years old, right? And he was the youngest South Ward councilman. And I actually support, even though I love him as a person and think he was qualified. And so when Raz ran in 2010 for South Ward councilman, Mitty called and asked if I could help. And I did. I helped Raz in 2010. Even though the scoundrel that he is, he had his team of people in the Central Ward tearing down my brother's signs. Right? I was in the South Ward helping him. Facts.
You ain't never gonna get over that, huh?
Well, but I just want people to know, right? Because people don't know the history, right? They forget it, right? And they think that Eric is just a hater, right? That that I don't have the ability to discern, right? So I looked at somebody who was like a little, and still is like a little brother to me. And I said, yo, man, you're not ready for this. I'm going to go with that guy over there, give him a shot. Right? I did that. And then when that guy failed the South Ward, I came after him in 2014. People looked at me sideways, but I said I gave that guy a shot. He failed as South Ward councilman. Why are we promoting him to mayor? That was a valid question. So now you got a guy who I didn't think was qualified to be South Ward councilman, supported somebody else against him. My understanding is that he's going to be throwing his hat in the ring and running for council seat in one of the other wards. Why?
Wait, who are we talking about now? I'm lost.
Sidney James, Oscar Sidney James.
He's running where?
I think
So-
in the West Ward, I think maybe.
So why do you think that he's not qualified to run?
So let's
What is
look
it
at.
about him
Well,
that
but
says
Diane, I
he
mean, come
can't
on,
do the
I
job
can't,
even
can't
though
do
you
this.
think he's a good
Go,
person?
so all we got. Let's go look at what the South Ward looks like.
Right.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about?
Look
at what the
I'm
South
from
Ward
I
looks
know,
like.
This is what I'm asking you.
That is a good
Everybody
question.
is not listening. I need
Yeah.
to know from you. You said he's a good person. He's
Right, but what I'm saying is this: if we literally, you know what? But here's where I am with this, right? I mean, I'm making some assumptions, and some of the assumptions that I'm making is that these folks that I'm talking to who may listen to this are not kindergartners or preschoolers, right? That they're at least right. They're above that, and so the answering.
So you don't want to insult them, but you also want to understand, Eric. These are the same people that will vote the line. So if you're trying to distract them from voting
Right,
the line,
but my point to you,
gotta lay it out.
right? No. I listen. Can I say this to you? I don't expect me saying what I'm saying to change their behavior. They're sick. Those voters are sick. They're gonna, because I did this in 2014 and I did it again in 2018. So all of what you're talking about, well, lay it out, explain it, do it. I did it. Day after day after day with the water, day after day after day, right? I did it. Why? Let me show you graphics. Let me show you visuals. Let me show you video. Let me show you what they're saying on MSNBC and CNN and all over the world about Newark.
Right.
They're sick because they went and voted for him anyway. So they're going to do that. I'm just telling you how I feel. Right? Not to persuade, because they're not going to be persuaded. I've given that up. I'm just saying Eric Dawson. This is, it came to me, and so I'm disgusted by it. They're not disgusted by it. They're not disgusted by the filth they walk over every day.
So you got.
So Eric, answer her
So that
question.
means. So
can I get my opinion on that candidate?
Jody, go.
I want to put my 2 cents on that candidate. He's not a good guy. He worked for PC2E, the Next Rider movement, and swindled those parents. He got his signs pulled down and then capitulated to the Baraccas behind the scene. He's done a lot, right? And so this is where, because, and I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better up there, but I'm not a part of it, but I hope it gets better, because here's the thing. If people are going to continue to run for the paycheck, right? For that paycheck and for that influence of that space to be able to cut deals for their spaces, and not the people. North needs to stop that. North needs new life. A young man called me. Someone told him about me. He actually wants to run in the West Ward. This is so weird. And he just wanted me to, I guess, I don't know what he wanted me to do, but someone told him to call me. And he told me a story about how he has a center, and I won't say his name, in the West Ward, that he comes from this space of been to jail, but came out, flipped his life, and has, because I asked those questions, how many years have you, 12 years, had the center for years, has another friend, and they took when the Barack administration was asking for contracts to do work. They took the contract. The business administrator actually called their names, brought them to the front, and said, "This is the way the contract should look for. You're requesting work, whatever." And then they left, and one of Raz's friends got it, right? And just like he was just so frustrated on the phone about how he wants to do, he just knows that he talked about how people are going to be with the rates of housing and the rates of houses in North, we're going to lose people. People are unemployed. Like that whole passion, right? That's what North needs. North doesn't need that Baraka, other James family, Cheney, they don't need that circle to keep rolling around. That because that's a circle that has fed families and family extensions, and the people in North are dying, right? That needs to end. But they feel like that is what they are due, and it is theirs, and they own it, and they don't. The people of that city need this is what I said to him. I said, your first homework assignment would be to look up someone like AOC. Look at how you can't beat the establishment, right? But you got to run an agenda for the people, and you have to really live that. You have to want that for the people and want that for yourself. And those candidates, those two candidates he just mentioned, should just go get a job somewhere and do something else, because the people of North shouldn't have to take care of you and your family and the extension. But the other one and the fathers, that business and the watershed, and he said as a board member on the watershed, when his father had that moment with the watershed that he had to say he was guilty of, that should end. That has to end. And if it doesn't end, North will never rise and be a great city.
All right. Next one. Terrence Bankston.
I like Terrence. I like Terrence. I like Terrence.
And Terrence is running for what ward? What ward is Terrence? He's in the South Ward, right?
I don't know what ward Terrence is running in, but I will tell you that Terrence, in my being around him, is a chameleon, right? He's a shape shifter. He's a shape shifter, and so I can't trust that, right? One minute, he's holding these people accountable. Then the next minute, he's taking pictures with them. And then that's something he's using to leverage for something else over here. The same people he was holding accountable for something over here, right? All of a sudden, he's not holding them accountable anymore because he's got or perceives an opportunity to be close to them. And I've seen that more than a half dozen times since I supported Terrence Bankston in 2014, right? When I worked on the Shafar Jeffries campaign. And so I don't know where he stands. I can tell you there was a thing that I tried to start. I shouldn't even say I wanted to get started, and I knew that I needed to like be a part of it to get it started. But I had hoped that it would have taken on legs of its own, and that was the walk thing, right? But when I did that, I was really sick. I was taking chemo, and I was in a really bad way. But I tried to get out there, and I walked a couple of times. And then my hope was that, folks would have, just kind of taken that and done something with it. And in that one thing, it became so political. The data, I don't know where the data is because I didn't really want it. Again, I just wanted people to organize around something. And the thing I wanted them to organize around was term limits, right? Just go knock on doors and see how many residents want term limits. And if you could organize around that, you could get all of the people who are currently in office out of office because term limits. Um, but then with Terrence in that thing, he um, became possessive over the data in a way that was concerning to me, right? And then yeah, so I got I got challenges there. Um, uh, so I think that when I'm looking at what's going on in Newark, in as these candidates are lining up, it's laughable, right? That they believe that they could even do that. Like in some communities, they wouldn't even have the courage to think about it because they would realize that they would be the laughing stock. But the fact that they really believe, right, says something about the voter,
Yep.
right? That they really, it says something about how they see you,
Yes.
how they see
Yep.
you, you know. So I just, so yeah, Diane, Vincent, I'm not trying to convince folks. I'm just telling them how I feel. And, as it starts to unfold, I'm not going to be kind, simply because, I had a visceral response when I found out, and it's just going to be on full display, as I see them, just try to manipulate the people in Newark. Um, yeah, just bad.
Sure.
Just bad.
Yeah.
Just bad.
Well, and understandable. And Eric, the one thing that I love about you is that you stick to your convictions. Yet, in the process of you sticking to your convictions, if there's any facts that come about in which you find that your ideology was false, you are man enough
Oh, I
to
do.
change.
Oh, I will.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's look at that and while you're saying it. So I know that in saying that you're not going to support them, that you don't come from a bad space. And I mean, you're not just the type of person to hate just because you can. And you do have, some valid reasons for that. But let's look at a few things. Um, First and foremost, the process of getting elected. Candidates is just like the process of dating. You will say anything because you're representing your best face. So, and we have that. And let's look at the track record of the candidates and what they've actually been doing.
No, but you know what?
And
See, I can't. But Vincent, see, for you who live down South Jersey, I understand, how you're doing that. But for me, who's been in this, right? So, like Jody was talking about PC2E, right? So I got history, right?
right,
And that history, there are things, right, where again, um, uh, same reason why, yeah. No, I got history, and so you can't, no, no, just bad things, man. Just bad things. They, like Jody said, just go find a job somewhere. Just go do that.
yeah,
Only that
I
was
hear.
so easy.
Just go
Yeah,
find.
So,
Just,
Walmart's hiring.
Senator Ron Rice lost his fight with the marijuana legalization in regards to decriminalizing the marijuana. And I was just reading an article this morning in Oregon. They just passed a law where they're going to decriminalize it, and they're no longer going to arrest people for small quantities of
well, they've
marijuana.
decriminalized heroin in
Exactly.
Oregon.
Right, right. And they
So
talked about
right,
that as
here,
well.
but here's the deal. But here's the deal again, right? Uh, and Senator Rice and I don't see eye on a whole lot of stuff. I mean, here's a guy who's been in the Senate for I don't know how long, and he's made a career out of just kind of you know being a dragon slayer, right? But when you drive past his headquarters in the West Ward, it's filthy over there, right? So I'm like, you know what I mean? My grandmother always said, take care of your own house first and then extend that beyond. And so the West Ward, you can't even walk the block where his headquarters is without fear of being mugged, right? That's true, right? So we talk about social justice, right? Get those people over there on South Orange Avenue some social justice. Give them some dignity, right? So, but people, so he can't get the people who needed that the most to rally behind him because of what I just said.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you, Diane?
And that's a good point that you made.
He can't get them to rally behind him because of because of how defeated they are in their own lives, because of the filth that they live, because of the bar that he set in terms of what they should expect, right?
Well, I think
So
that goes back to what we talked about before. How do you ask Trump for something when on a local level you can't even get it done?
right. So the bar is so low that he keeps getting reelected amidst the filth and all that other stuff, right? And he's a guy too who supported Raz. Now, and again, because I know stuff, he said, and I would challenge him to tell me he didn't say it, that he had issues with Raz, but he supported him. And he didn't speak out about the issues. He didn't inform his constituents, which was his job, of what his issues were. Bring that man out, call him out on the mat, talk about him, square it up.
Well, I think it's only their job when they're called out on their job.
Right. So
If people know
so
what their job is
again,
supposed to be, I think they get by because people don't call them out.
right, but now
True.
so you right, but my point to you is this. So you treat the people the way you treat them, right? You beat them down, teach them that this is all they should expect. They should be happy that they got you. They should be grateful. And then when you want them to want more, but they've been conditioned by you to settle for less. Then when they get less, and people want to talk about it. You can't do that.
So what he says is that not only are we, well, this is Leo's, my opinion about Sylvester Leo's is another thing. Neighborhoods have been torn apart and lives have been ruined, says Senator Wright, who represents parts of North, Bloomfield, Glenridge, Irvington, and Nutley. I think he actually represents all of them and not North. I have been a staunch believer in the decriminalization of adult use marijuana and have been trying to get legislation through the Senate for well over 2 years. Decriminalization is the long-sought remedy for rampant injustice in our state, and I look forward to it finally becoming law. However, when Senator Katori, who sponsored this bill, it was sponsored without the decriminalization and everything attached to it, but more so to make sure that legalization would happen so that the companies could make money. And the one thing that we never discussed, and I read it in an article the other day, and I probably didn't think about it either, is this tax that they're going to put on marijuana is going to be so exorbitant that the marijuana businesses are going to have to absorb, but it is not going to translate over to the energy companies, PSE&G, Verizon, the telephone companies. They're not going to have to pay a tax to provide services to these particular companies, but the company itself is going to have to pay these high taxes. So I believe what's going to happen is the black market is just going to sell it for less, and people will continue to buy it there, and these businesses will not make the money that they are
Oh no, no, no,
anticipating.
no, 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 no. See, the corporation. What I tell you. See,
right.
the corporation of white supremacy, Diane, is moving the pieces on the chessboard. What is going to happen, Diane? Listen,
402.
Diane. So you're right. So they realize that because they have to try to figure out how to deal with these taxes, they can't come to market with their product for less than the black market can. But they got the popo and the judges on their side.
Right.
Come on. So now, wait a minute now. Understand. You got the biggest drug deal. They're going to be the biggest drug dealers on the block, the government.
Yep.
And they got enforcers. Do you understand what I'm saying, Diane?
So listen to what else they're doing. They said the bill will also downgrade the possession of up to 1 ounce of mushrooms from a third-degree crime to a disorderly person.
Now, who in the hood is taking mushrooms?
Exactly. That's a lot.
Who in the hood is taking mushrooms? So we're gonna make sure you folks in suburban, y'all don't go to jail. But we about to lock the hood up again.
Lock them up. Lock them up.
Yeah, that does stink of
They
racism.
taking the street dealer and putting them head to head with the government.
So Senator President Steve Sweeney says that the creation of cannabis industry in New Jersey with cultivators, processors, wholesalers, distributors, and retailers and deliverers could create thousands of jobs in sales, production, and related services. So the key word is it will create thousands of jobs. It won't create entrepreneurs because at bare minimum you need $750,000 to get into the game. You have to show your finances. You can't have a criminal background. And what else do they want? I think 3 years of your financial information. So that's going to leave out everyone that is black. On top of that, the majority of people that are opening up businesses, which they didn't stop, they're allowing people who already have the not recreational, but the medicinal marijuana who have businesses now to now translate over and sell as well marijuana for recreational use.
Power. So, look, round 401. We taking body shots.
Where they're going to have these stores at? They're going to have them in Newark. They're going to have them in Elizabeth. They're going to have them in Jersey City.
Yes, you know why? See, because then you'll have the people from Westfield coming to Newark to get their weed, right? And go back to Westfield, right? But you won't have people from Newark going to Westfield to get their weed.
None of that there.
Yeah, no. Your people from Verona will come down to Newark and get their weed, and then go back.
And I can safely go back.
Well, then what we should do is that the other people should go up in the suburbs and get their mushrooms, and it's misdemeanor.
But we don't do mushrooms.
We don't do that.
Hey, just a suggestion. One quick question.
North Motor Vehicles is also closing because they had a worker that tested positive for COVID. So now that makes 6 or 7 locations in New Jersey that have been closed, and they'll be closed until December 31st. No, I'm sorry, that makes more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That makes them, they make the 12th month that is now closed. And that's from Freehold, Toms River, Bayonne, Warrington, Edison, Wayne, Patterson, Vineland, Turnsville, Jersey City, Somerville, and Newark, all closed. So again, I say I don't understand why they are working on the premise that this is a temporary thing instead of working towards moving a lot of those services to online services. And stuff like returning your license plates, having a box outside where you can just drop them off and keep it moving.
They do. You can just drop.
Like
you can take your license plate and drop them in the post, like the mailbox.
Yeah, but you don't get a receipt that they received it. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I guess you've never had that problem with your license plate being used somewhere else.
No, I've never had that.
Yeah, well, when you go to milk, anything can happen. So yeah, so that's it. And again, so what's going on with the lockdown? Is the lockdown lockdown in North? Go ahead, Jody.
Can I, can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
Because we've got roughly 9 minutes. Diane, what's your show about tomorrow?
I'm not talking about that. What you gonna say? Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, we were just gonna plug your show. You don't want
Oh
to?
no, thank you. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I know. Threw you for a loop, right?
Yeah. So, because you mentioned something, and then Vincent said that.
Yeah, cause yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to talk about for the last. How many minutes do we have? 8 minutes. I'm like done, really.
Go
Like
back to your ketchup.
my ketchup is right here.
Must be from the increase in acid from the ketchup.
No. I think I may make some homemade onion rings today.
And put the warm ketchup on it.
Put the warm ketchup on. Well, this bottle hasn't been opened yet.
Oh.
See, this
still
is
on the shelf.
yeah, this is the new bottle. I used the other one. And then wait a minute, can I tell you? See, Amina bought Trader Joe's ketchup. And wait a minute, and I formed a one-man picket line outside the pantry.
How did that work out for you?
Is Malcolm left you?
It didn't. You see what I got, right? I don't know where that Trader Joe's is. I got this. I was like, hell no to Trader Joe's. Hell no to. They're like 2:00 in the morning. She's trying to sleep, and I'm downstairs. Hell no to Trader Joe. Yeah. Oh, good news. Remember I told you that Amina was the cat lady of the neighborhood?
What
So
happened to the cats did?
no. So we found a place that has been coming and spading and neutering the cats. And
Catch and release program.
I'm sorry.
It's the catch and release program.
Well, right, for some of them. And then some of them they've taken and they're trying to find homes for them. So we've seen fewer and fewer around. And now there's one that Amina wants to adopt. So we're trying to figure that out. Trying to figure out how that would work out with Malcolm. But we got to, we're trying to do it. I'm sorry?
So you're going to have 2 cats then?
Gonna have 2 cats, and I'm getting a boxer.
That's what who said that? Did she say that?
Shh, she doesn't watch the show.
Because I'm pretty sure she did not agree to that.
She doesn't watch. Eric, speaking from someone who had multiple cats, this is how technique which was given to us, and it worked out well. With the new cat, keep him in a cage for about 4 days. Feed him through the cage, all of that great stuff. Let the other cat go by, and you know it's time to let the other cat, the new cat, out of the cage when the 2 of them start playing together.
Yeah.
Because at some point in time, their curiosity tends to meet, and then they, begin to kind of blend. If not, if you just bring the cat there cold, let them out, let them roam, it gets to be a territorial fight with Malcolm and the new cat.
You know what's interesting, Eric? That Merced County College has a class on cannabis, on learning medical cannabis.
On how to roll it?
Cultivating it,
Look,
all of that.
I'm going to tell you, when you
like
roll
a
it,
tutorial?
look, all I would say is this, and I could save you all from taking a class on rolling. Don't put a lot of saliva. Like, you ever see people rolling there? No.
Ew.
Yeah. No.
Who would roll anything and share it in the COVID-19 environment?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised. Yep. Anyway, listen, guys. Wash your hands. They're saying now 83,000 deaths within the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Right?
We're averaging one death every 39 seconds.
And I wanna say this in closing. We got 3 minutes. I've seen over the last couple of days people posting on Facebook, friends and family who have now been moved to ventilators, who have expired, right? Who are in the hospital, who are home suffering. See, we have to assign this to somebody. And this is what I was saying to you before, Vincent. And I think that people got it mixed up, right? Because everybody was assigning it to Donald Trump. And remember I kept saying, no, we have to understand that there are people who are acting irresponsibly, right? Like, so yep, him here, but then people here. And I think that now people are starting to catch up. See, because the media, instead of holding people accountable, they wanted to continue to focus on this guy because they were trying to win an election. And as a result, the messaging is now getting to the people late that it is them that are responsible. So
now that the election's over.
I'm sorry?
Now that the election is over, they're focusing on the individuals.
Yeah, but it was always
in the beginning.
But I'm
everybody
saying
was focusing on the individuals.
No, they weren't. No.
Yeah, because they were talking about the individuals who had these parties. Remember the individuals?
Yeah, but what?
No.
No.
Went out and played basketball.
No, but they no. But they were spending more. Right. So what I'm saying to you is, if you look at the news, they were spending 2 seconds talking about that and spending 3 hours talking about Trump. Right.
Yes.
And so there was an imbalance there that I kept trying to point out, that no, you need to spend more time talking about like where we are now and moving forward and how people are infecting people, right? And they didn't do that, and now they're trying to do it, and now they've enlisted social media people, influencers to start to do. They should have done that before, but they were focused on trying to get this man out of office. Anyway, what I'm saying is this.
Well, I think one of the big reasons they were focusing on Trump is because he politicized it. He made it a Republican Democrat virus.
Right, but but see, you're back on the political talking points, right? But the fact is, sure you are. But the fact is that we need to look at the people, the anti-vaxxers, and blame them. We need to look at the people who are saying that they're not wearing masks and blame them. See,
look at the people who said that the virus isn't real
and blame them. We need to blame these people. So when you see them, blame them. Assign the blame to them. As these 80,
blame to all of them.
As the 83,000 people over the next 2 weeks perish, blame them. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wash your hands. Keep social distance. Wear your mask. Get tested. And like Vincent says, if it's the Creator's will, we will see you here on Monday. Be good, guys. Thanks for tuning in.